Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm Sister Ann Shields, and welcome again to Food for the Journey. Today, we begin with a reading from the book of Numbers, and you're going to see in this week how fragile and how feeble the Israelites are. They get care from God in the most miraculous ways as you read the story of their coming out of Egypt, of all the plagues, everything that happened, and they were finally let go out of bondage, and then they have all kinds of problems at the Red Sea, and then it's just one thing after another. They put their faith in God, God works a miracle, and then what happens? They start grumbling because something else isn't the way they want it, and we look at them and sometimes I read and I think, how stupid can they be? But at the same time, I do the same thing. God shows me marvelous acts of mercy and kindness and protection and care. But still, when something happens, I get very fearful or I get to complaining. I don't trust Him enough. That's what we want to ask God for this whole week. Ask God to give us greater trust in Him, to increase our faith. Give us greater trust. So let's look today at the book of Numbers, this time chapter 11, verses 4 to 15. The children of Israel lamented, "Would that we had meat for food. We remember the fish we used to eat without cost in Egypt." Remember how difficult life was in Egypt? But now all they can think of is the food. The good food. They forget all the sorrows and the pain and the anguish and the suffering they went through because they were in bondage to Pharaoh. Moses gets them freed, gets them released, and now they're out in the desert, and oh, that we had meat for food. We remember the fish we used to eat without cost in Egypt, and the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now we're famished. We see nothing before us but this manna. It's a miracle, brothers and sisters, the manna that's given to them. And it's given to them every day. It comes from heaven. It's a miracle of God because they had nothing to eat. And He supplies it every night. It's like a bread. They don't like the same old thing. I wish we were back in Egypt. They don't want to be back in Egypt. But you see how easily swayed we are, how easily we give in to grumbling. It's a very good example here. Manna was like coriander seed and had the color of resin. And when they had gone about and gathered it up, the people would grind it between millstones or pound it in a mortar, and then cook it in a pot and make it into loaves, which tasted like cakes made with oil. At night, when the dew fell upon the camp, the manna also fell. When Moses heard the people, family after family, crying at the entrance of their tents, so that the Lord became very angry. He was grieved. "Why do you treat your servants so badly?" Moses asked the Lord. See, it's all falling, all the complaints are falling on Moses. So Moses goes to the Lord. He complains to the Lord. They're complaining to Moses about Moses. But Moses goes to the Lord and he says, anyway, I just have to laugh because it's just so much like us. When Moses heard the people, family after family, crying at the entrance of their tents, so that the Lord became very angry, he was grieved. "Why do you treat your servants so badly?" Moses asked the Lord. "Why are you so displeased with me that you burden me with all this people?" Now Moses is complaining. "Was it I who conceived all this people? Was it I who gave them birth that you tell me to carry them at my bosom like a foster father carrying an infant to the land you have promised under oath to their fathers? Where can I get meat to give to all these people? For they are crying out to me, 'Give us meat for our food.' I cannot carry all this people by myself, for they are too heavy for me. If this is the way you will deal with me, then please do me the favor of killing me at once." I mean, this is serious, but there is a humor to it. You know, if you want me to do this, just get rid of me now. I can't keep doing this. He says, "Please do me the favor of killing me at once so that I need no longer face this distress." It is hard, isn't it, when you're somebody in authority and things aren't going well. Even though you've tried to do everything you possibly can to make things go right, there are circumstances beyond your control. And what happens? Everybody blames you. And Moses was so distraught by all of this that he just wanted the Lord to kill him. Just get rid of me. It's not funny, but there is a certain funny side to it when you can stand out and see how fickle we are as human beings. God worked immense miracles in their midst. No, it's because they get the same food every day. Oh, can't we have a change? I wish we were back in Egypt. See how easily we're swayed. That's why we need the Holy Spirit more and more to dwell in us so that we can remember the good things God has given us. We can continually thank Him. That enables us to trust Him when we go through difficulty, and then we can praise Him more when He delivers us from that difficulty or resolves it in some way. Sing with joy to God our help. Psalm 81. My people heard not my voice. Israel obeyed me not. So I gave them up to the hardness of their hearts. They walked according to their own counsels. Sometimes God's judgment is simply allowing us to experience the fruit of our own decisions, our own short-sighted, selfish decisions. Sometimes the judgment of God is allowing us to experience the fruit of our own decisions. That's what's going on here. If only my people would hear me and Israel walk in my ways, quickly would I humble their enemies. Against their foes I would turn my hand. Those who hated the Lord would seek to flatter me, but their fate would endure forever. While Israel I would feed with the best of wheat, and with honey from the rock I would fill them. And when would that happen? If only my people would hear me and they would walk in my ways. It's to choose His commandments. It's to choose His word. And if I walk in His ways, He will bless me. I do them because it's the right thing to do. I don't do them because I want a reward like a child. Be a mature adult. I will do this because it is right, and may God bless me. But I will do it because it is right. That's the attitude we need to have. And the Gospel of Matthew is chapter 14, verses 13 to 21. When Jesus heard of the death of John the Baptist, He withdrew in a boat to a deserted place by Himself. The crowds heard of this and followed Him on foot from their towns. And when He disembarked and saw the vast crowd, His heart was moved with pity for them, and He cured their sick. John the Baptist was executed. He was Jesus' cousin. He was a very, very good friend. He allowed John to baptize him in the river. They were close, very close. And when Jesus heard of the death of John the Baptist, He withdrew in a boat to a deserted place by Himself. He wanted to grieve. But what happens? The crowds heard of this and followed Him on foot from their towns. And when He got out of the boat, looking for some solitude, He sees this vast crowd. And what happens? Does He get irritated and frustrated? Give me some time to pray. He was moved with pity for them, and He cured their sick. So He goes on ministering right in the midst of His grief. And when it was evening, the disciples approached Him and said, "This is a deserted place, and it is already late. Dismiss the crowd so that they can go into the villages and buy food for themselves." So the disciples are just being very pragmatic about this. Just get rid of them. Tell them to go into the villages so we can get some time alone and some time for prayer, and we can eat ourselves. And so tell them to go into the villages and buy food for themselves. And He said to them, there is no need for them to go away. Give them some food yourselves. Brothers and sisters, there are times when Jesus says that to us. We say, oh, I can't do this because I don't have it. Have you asked for it? Have you really asked for the help you need? Have you really asked for the supplies that you need? Have you leaned on the Lord? They just want to get some actual human food to eat. And Jesus says, there is no need for them to go away. Give them some food yourselves. But they said to him, 5 loaves and 2 fish are all we have here. In other words, Lord, there's thousands of people. And then he said, bring them here to me. And he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass. And taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he said the blessing, broke the loaves, and gave them to the disciples, who in turn gave them to the crowds. They all ate and were satisfied. And they picked up the fragments left over, 12 wicker baskets full. Those were big baskets, brothers and sisters. And they filled 12 of them. Those who ate were about 5,000 men, not counting the women and children. So you've got thousands of people. He had 5 loaves and 2 fish. Brothers and sisters, the Lord was not only doing that for those people, but he's saying to you and to me, we're hungry. And we keep looking for food that does not satisfy. Food that does not meet the deeper hunger of our soul. And Jesus says, come to me. All you who labor and are heavily burdened, I will give you rest. I will feed you on my own body and my own blood. I will nourish you for life everlasting. But come to me. Brothers and sisters, please pay heed. Please don't waste another day saying, oh, I wish I were holier, or I wish I were closer to God. You can be by his grace and mercy, but you need to draw near to him. You're starving, some of you listening to this program. You need to feed on his body and blood, to feed on his word. They really will nourish you beyond anything you can imagine. But we need to humble ourselves. Will you do that? I beg you, that you might be nourished and strengthened, and so bring food to others. We're on a long journey, brothers and sisters, and we don't know the road ahead. We don't know what it's going to look like. So take advantage of every single thing that God holds out to us today. Make use of everything that God offers us today. That whatever lies ahead, we might be ready, we might be strong, we might be confident, not in ourselves, but in him. May we increase our faith, not that we can give the increase, but we can prepare ourselves, we can dispose ourselves to receive and to ask God daily for an increase of faith so that we might know what is really important and we might say yes to it. May God give us the grace that we do not have. One of the things I want to encourage us to is to please put first things first now. Don't get so caught up in all that you're doing that you don't put first things first. It is imperative that you do. May God bless you.